Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Left Undone Incomplete Investigations Saturday morning live stream. Look at everybody that's here. Thanks for being here, everyone. I am Kathryn. If you're new, please say hello. We go live almost every Saturday morning. I do it as much as possible when there's time. And we are all about the Daybell case. You guys can hear me, right? I'll make sure everything's working in order. And we also follow other cases like the Gabby Petito case, which is like a womp womp right now with Brian Laundrie still running around somewhere, being spotted everywhere, but not being caught. So I haven't really reported much on the Brian Laundrie updates because there really aren't any. You know, I don't really come on and I know a lot of other people like to know every single thing that's been said or going on, but unless there's something actually progress in the case, I guess, I don't, like someone went and put laundry baskets all over their front yard. I don't report on that stuff. Another rumor going around, hello, everyone. Another rumor going around is that he's under the garden bed. Somebody flew a drone over their house and they said they saw a hand coming up. I just don't think so. I don't think the FBI is that dumb. And how in the heck is he going to live underneath? Oh, Coffee Girl, welcome, welcome, welcome. We will post the Discord link. One of the benefits of the members is you get the emojis when you become a Left Undone member. You get the Discord link so you can come in and talk with us because we've got info in there. I got one of my members who is on top of all the new stuff. Like we are getting, as soon as something comes out, man, she is on it. So thank you for joining. I'm looking to see who's in there. Where in the world is Brian Laundrie, right? Where in the world is Brian Laundrie? He is either on the Appalachian Trail, underneath a garden box, out in the water, in a campground. Where the heck else is he? In the Carlton Reserve, where they keep going back. Yesterday on that one, they kept going back. They went back there again with rifles and stuff, but they also said it's a search for him and a training. So they're using it as a training mission as well. So nothing really happened on that yesterday. I need my coffee. I put Percy away because I didn't want to give him a chance this time. He was already bugging me just when I was getting set up. Oh, what's Robbie have to say? Hi, Robbie. Isn't his uncle like a yacht dealer with multiple yacht dealerships in multiple countries? I didn't know that. Is that true? I did not know that. Tell me, go research that for me. Also, I put up on the YouTube platform, I've put up the 3rd episode of my podcast. There's actually 4 episodes up already. It's called Afterglow, Unveiling the Idaho Cult. It's a series. I went back to the very beginning with the Vallow Daybell case, literally back to the beginning of Lori. Went through her divorce information with her first, second, third husbands. She really, really tried hard with Colby's biological dad to destroy that relationship and destroy him as well. I find it really interesting that Lori married 3, 4, I don't know. Nelson Yane's the first one. I don't know much about him at all. There's not much out there. But her second, third, and fourth husband all were not LDS, but she had them convert to LDS. And I find it really interesting that how she plays these people. And when you go back and you listen to what I've posted on the Afterglow, hi, Coffee Girl. Thank you so much. And thanks for joining. When you go back and listen to the Afterglow podcast, I really went through the divorce documents between her and Joe. Lori made his life a living hell. She made everyone's life a living hell. Her children, anybody that was married to her was really lucky to get out alive. I'm just saying. But when you really go back and you look at Lori and her belief system and the things that she did, she's always been a little bit off in the head. I mean, she just has to be. And very manipulative. So but what I was going to say about the Afterglow podcast, if you listen to it on YouTube, it doesn't, the audio isn't, it's not quite right, because I record on one microphone with one software, and then I dub in sound effects and music and everything with a different software. When it uploads to my podcast, Apple, Stitcher, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, all those, when it uploads there, it has this software that goes through and levels the sound properly. But when I put it on here, YouTube doesn't have that. So people are complaining. They're like, oh, the ads were too loud. Plus, it doesn't have the ads. On YouTube, it's going to have the ads. On the podcast platform, it just has my ads, which are, talking about Instacart and stuff. They're just influencer type ads. They're not like a sales ad. So if you listen to that, please comment, give me stars and all that stuff so I can get it up on the podcast platform. I want to start doing interviews after I get the story out there. If anybody knows anybody. Oh, listen to this. Okay, this is interesting. Moonlight View, Left Undone. Nelson Yanes was convicted of insurance fraud on a large scale sitting in the Inland Empire, Southern California. Really? Interesting. So maybe him and Lori should have stayed married. Shysters. Except for Brother Adam, right? What you guys are talking about. So one thing I do like to do here, and you will find that I might feel like I jump around a little bit, is I really like to interact with the chat. So I do look at the chat and go back and forth and pop up questions that I might have missed while I was blabbing. And watching from Asia. Well, Genevieve, welcome, welcome. You are far away from us. Thank you. I'm just going to go back here a minute and look at the chat and see if there's any questions or anything. Happy Saturday. Hello, hello, hello. Lots of hellos. And yes, welcome everyone. Please hit that like button. Thank you, Ruby, for the reminder. And let's see. Hello from Norway. Kristen is always here. I don't know what time it is there, but she seems to make it to my live. So thank you, Kristen. England, Vicky. Vicky, welcome. Okay, just going through to see what you guys have to say. Hey, Kathy, you have to tell the story about the scorpion for those who are not on Discord. I have never laughed so hard. Oh, my God. Well, I have a backyard camera. So I don't know, maybe I can show it. I shared it with you guys, but so I have a bug spray guy. I live in the desert. Okay. I am not used to bugs. We don't have bugs at Huntington Beach, but anyways, now I live in the desert. And so there's a bug spray people that come quarterly, and they came this week. Was it Wednesday? I don't know. Anyways, they came this week. So I went to let the dogs out the other night, and a scorpion ran past us, and I about lost my poo. I'll show you. I recorded it to share in Discord. I might as well show you guys. Let me find it. It was a very scary moment of my life, probably one of the worst. Oops, hold on. I have to share my screen. Hold on. Okay, sorry, I'm muted again. I'm muted so you can hear that. Anyways, so yes, that was a scorpion. And just remind me to unmute. I always forget to unmute. So that was a scorpion. So then I went back inside and I got my weapon of choice, which was a box of wine. You can watch that now too. It's very quick. Hold on, it's frozen. I'm going to restart it. 1 second. Oh my gosh, hold on. I don't know why it's frozen. I'll try again. Let me see if I can undo it. Undo it. Okay, here we go. All right, 1 second. Here it comes. That was it. I murdered I murdered. I think it was going so fast. I've only seen 2 scorpions in my life. One was dead here, and then this one was actually running with its big old tail curled up and stuff. You can see I got a smashed picture of it. Hold on. Oops. My friend Patty posts that. She goes, well, that one wasn't left undone. I'm like, you got that right. Nothing, not in my yard. Okay, here, you can see this one. Now we can talk about crimes other than my crime in my backyard. See, there he is. Dead, smashed. Look at him. There's big tail and stuff. And scared the crap out of me. That's all I'm going to say. As you can tell, my neighbors probably thought, what is she screaming about? Yes, I never saw them when I lived in Arizona. Maybe I was just oblivious to them, but they're here. Right. Our free-range pet skunk Twinkle Toes was not happy with the ramen noodles I gave him last night. Oh, you feeding your skunks ramen noodles? He's like, could you cook a steak or something better, please, lady? Yeah. The corpse, yeah, the crime scene. And so then I cleaned it up with a dog pooper scooper and put it in there. And then literally the next morning, Percy goes, right to where it is. Like he smelled it a mile away, put his mouth on it, and got like a piece of it in his mouth. I thought I got the whole thing picked up, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to touch it. Can it sting me after it's dead? And then I'm like shaking his mouth, like, get it out of your mouth. So whatever, he dropped it. He puts everything in his mouth. He's such a puppy still, everything in his mouth. So anyway, death by wine box. Yes. My murder on camera. See, this is why we all need cameras, because we can prove murders happen and, you know, and maybe get the reward. There's no reward for this guy. There's none. I'm hot. Let me turn my AC on. So that was that. Okay. No scorpions in Liverpool. It's not hot there. I think, doesn't it have to be hot and dry for scorpions? They're evil. So when I first moved in, the bug guy came to the door and he's like, do you want monthly or whatever? Do you want bug service? I'm like, do I need it? And he's like, out here? Yeah. And I was like, yeah, I'll wait. And then my niece found the dead scorpion. And then I was like, oh, emergency. When can you come out and spray my house? No scorpions in Ohio. I was on a plane once and there was a scorpion in the seat pocket in front of me. I hit the call button and the stewardess praised me for not screaming. Oh my God, I totally would have screamed. What did they do? Oh my gosh, because I don't know if you know this, but I was a flight attendant in the past. If you would have rang the call button and came and made me come, I would have screamed. And then they would have been like, oh my God, the flight attendant's screaming, you know, because everybody watches the flight attendants and their reactions. I wouldn't have been good. It would not have been good. People, I have like my friends are like that, like mice get on the plane and rats and stuff. I've never seen one, but they do. The Scorpion's family lawyer will be in touch. Oh gosh. Central Florida has scorpions, but luckily they are tiny, hide, and not really dangerous. Now, when I've been told these ones will sting you, but they're not deadly stings, I don't know. But if you're allergic, I'm allergic to bees, so I'm not taking my chances with anything that has any kind of venom in it, venom at all. Okay, so then I just noticed that my wonderful person, now I got to go find it again. I just close things instead of posted another video from another creator that has, let me go to the Vallow Daybell area here. An interview with Colby, and I haven't read it yet. I just noticed it. She posted it last night. I had not seen it, and so we will look at this. But it's on a video, so I'm going to try to read it because I don't think they're reading it on the video. Let's see what happens. Let me get it up here first. And then... okay. Yeah, I think we just need to pause it and we can read it together. Let me share again. Okay. So this is an interview with Colby Ryan on 10/21/2020. Oh, my son's birthday. Colby Blank came into the Chandler Police Department to be interviewed by Detective Ray Hermosillo and Detective Vince, I can't say it, Kayakmonunu, whatever. During this interview, they discussed the death of Charles Vallow. While listening to this interview, I learned the following information that I felt was significant to this case. Please refer to the recorded interview for the entire context. And Francie, is there a recorded interview of this? I haven't found it or seen it yet. Colby stated that his mother was selling them on the fact that she was going to be killed for her life insurance money. She told him that Adam, Brandon, and Summer blank lover were coming after her. Oh, that would be Summer. Is that Edgar? And Summer blank lover. So Summer does have a lover. Well, there you go with that one. Were coming after her. So Adam, Brandon, and Summer's lover were coming after her. Colby stated that he did not buy it fully, but he did not trust Charles at this point because of everything that was happening. Colby stated that in January of 2019, his mother told him that Charles had been caught cheating. He was apparently in California and had 2 women that he was supporting financially. Lori also told Colby that Charles had been with hookers. Colby stated that while Charles was out of town, they took his truck and threw his clothes away. Colby would later state that he knew Blank was living with Lori and Charles at the time, and Blank was the one who picked up the truck from the airport. Is that Melanie? Melanie Gibb? Blank was the one who picked up the truck from the airport. Once Charles realized his truck was missing, Charles called Colby and asked him if he knew where the truck was. Colby had no idea where the truck was or what was going on. Colby stated that the following day he took Tylee to her house in Gilbert. While at the house, Charles called Tylee and the 2 began to argue. Colby then got on the phone with Charles and asked him what was going on. This was when Charles calmly told Colby that Lori, okay, I had paused it, so let's see. Probably gave us time to read it. See where it changes page. Oh, okay. Let's change page, it looks like. That Lori, okay, thought she was a god. Colby indicated that he tried to be a mediator between them. Colby stated that his mother seemed to be calm and not wanting confrontation with Charles. Colby indicated that he was more in his mother's favor, thinking that Charles did something wrong because his mother seemed like she did not want any problems and only wanted to get away from Charles. See, she's had her kids forever. Colby learned of the murder of Charles Vallow from Lori. He stated that approximately 4 p.m. on the day Charles was killed, Lori called him and told him that Charles had a heart attack and died. He indicated, and Lori just tells lies that can be figured out. That's what's so weird. He indicated that during this conversation, he recalled her stating that Charles became frustrated and died of a heart attack. Lori alluded that Tylee was present at the time of his death, and Colby was concerned that Tylee might have witnessed this. Well, Colby went to his mother's house after 7 p.m. on the same day. That was the first time he had ever been to their house in Chandler. He did not know where the house was exactly, but he saw Alex's truck parked outside, which helped him find the house. Tylee met him at the door and immediately hugged Colby and started to cry. Colby felt that Tylee was trying to be okay, but she really wasn't. When he entered, he saw that one of the boards on the floor had been changed out. He also saw that Alex had a bandage on his head. He asked Alex what happened to his head, and Alex told him that he and Charles got into a fight and he shot Charles twice. Colby then went outside and talked to his mother. He stated that he began to cuss her out. He indicated that his mother claimed to be a victim of the fight. Colby stated that Lori never provided an explanation of why she originally told him Charles had a heart attack. Let's see. There should be more. I guess I could just keep it playing because it goes slow, but okay, here we go. Colby stated that he did not want to be there anymore. They went back to the house and all sat around the kitchen table. Tylee and Alex joined in the conversation now, and Colby stated that they started to tell him what happened. They told Colby that Charles became overly aggressive and Tylee got a bat. He added that this would not be out of character for Tylee. Colby indicated that after Charles died, his mother came to came to him crying, asking for help. She wanted him to go with her to Texas to pick up items from Charles' residence. Colby told her that he did not want to go, but he finally gave in. Colby stated that he and Lori flew to Texas. He did not believe that they were even there for 24 hours. They packed up Charles' belongings and, whoops, see, I knew it. Go back. Yeah. They packed up Charles' belongings and put them in Charles' truck. They even picked up JJ's dog from the kennel. They drove the truck to the airport and left it there and flew back to Arizona. Colby believes that Alex picked up the truck from the airport later. Okay, here we go, more. Colby stated that while they were in Texas, Lori was on Charles' computer. She showed him text messages between Adam and Blank. He recalled that Blank stated that Lori was nuts and shouldn't be on this earth. Let me take a sip of coffee. Colby then began to side with his mother that maybe something was going to happen to her. Colby began to ask her what she was going to do. While Lori was cleaning out a cabinet at Charles' residence, she told him that she was going to be married again soon. Colby indicated that he was surprised by this comment and he snapped at her. He told Lori she must be nuts and she was not going to introduce Tylee and JJ to another dad. Lori did not discuss this further. Colby indicated that he never really had a relationship with Alex. He described Alex as being a bum. Alex would tell him about his relationship with women and he thought it was nasty. Colby added that Alex started to come around more and became super close with Lori around 2018. When asked to describe the relationship between Lori and Alex, Colby started talking about his knowledge of Alex going after Joe Ryan. He knew that Alex was protective of Lori. Colby felt that Alex and Lori got close really fast after January of 2018. Colby stated that he knew Alex and Charles were cool with each other and that Charles had a lot of praise for Alex. Might be it. I think that's it. Yep. Interesting, huh? Interesting. What do you guys think about that? DC Babs, that's okay. You can be late. We don't take attendance. But thank you for being here. Okay, let me close this. Then, did you guys hear, like, there's interviews with Serena? I think the interview with Serena is, hey, Mary Ann Gibson from Philadelphia, PA. Not excusing behavior, but did Lori ever have head injuries from being a flyer when she was a cheerleader? Pathological lying. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, they lose their filter and they can lie a lot too, right? And lose a filter. Interesting. Maybe. Poor Colby. He was just a victim of Lori and her manipulation. I mean, really, truly. But it can be scary because how you can get so dragged into stuff. I mean, it's your mom. She's a crazy lady. He was a good husband. It seems to be. Now, somebody, okay, thank you, Francie. Somebody, shoot, I lost my train. What was I going to say? It'll come to me in a minute. So Serena has a really interesting interview, and it's on that same channel, Breaking Crime with Big E. It's really long, so I probably won't put you through it here to listen to it, but it's really interesting because she got kicked out. They kicked her out, she says. And then the police officers were like, I'm glad you got kicked out. And she's like, me too. But she's one of the circle caster outers, people. Let's see. Oops. You haven't heard of Serena yet? Yeah. There is an interview with her. Let me go back to this channel. Hold on. And it's in my way now. If you go back to this channel with this big E dude, good channel. He's getting the scoop on all kinds of stuff. If you go back to his channel, Breaking Crime with Big E, I should subscribe. Okay, let me share it. He's got a lot of videos. Interview with Colby Ryan, interview with a friend of Jason Mao who introduced Melanie Gibb, and then Lori Vallow. Transcript of Chad Daybell's called the mortuary. Oh, I haven't seen this. Chad Daybell called the mortuary. Yeah, there's 2 interviews with Serena. There's one at the police station, which is like the follow-up interview, and then there's one in her home. Yeah, you have to see the interview with Charles Vallow emails Tammy. Ooh. It's disturbing that a warrant for Charles' records wasn't asked for until March 30th, 2020, and they didn't get the data until April 3rd, 2020. Let me get rid of, sorry, dude, I'm going to get rid of your ad. On 3/30/2020, I drafted a search warrant for the iCloud account for Charles Vallow. And looking at Charles Vallow's phone records, it was discovered that he had an iCloud username of something long. The iCloud accounts have been vital in this case, and therefore a warrant for this account was requested. Search warrant, blah, 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 was granted and sent to Apple. The data from Charles' account was received on April 3rd, 2020. I examined the data and noticed there is not much activity in reference to this case until June 29th, 2019, as indicated above. This was the day that Charles discovered the relationship between Lori and Chad. In reviewing the data, I saw Charles send a letter from blank to blank at 0700 hours. At 0839 hours, Charles sent an email to Adam Cox at blank. The email included fraudulent letter, and the email read as follows. Oh, this is that email. This is that letter that Lori pretended she was Charles. I'll read it just for a refresher. Okay, if I can get to it. Open this letter and see what she did. I'm not sure if the relationship, yeah, we have seen this, but I'll read it anyways. Open the letter and see what she did. So this is to Adam. I'm not sure if the relationship with her and Chad Daybell, but they're up to something. She created an email alias for me, as I never set this one up. She sent this yesterday, and I guess she forgot all her emails are on my computer at my house. I asked her to explain it, and she started blaming you, Brandon, and me for perpetuating a scheme against her. Just more of her paranoia. She will not explain it. I'm going to send it to Chad Daybell's wife. Her name is Tammy. I found her email address on their website. I've got her cell number too. Sounds very suspicious to me. What do you think? Then whenever she gets caught doing this kind of stuff, she starts blaming everybody else, mostly me, you, Brandon. Brandon and I are the victims of her craziness. I wish you luck trying to help her. I was the only one brave enough to try to get to her help in January, and look what happened to me. The whole family put a scarlet letter on me. Maybe now they can see what they're up against. I want to see if there's a letter to Tammy. That's what I'm really interested in seeing. Oh, here we go. On June 29th, Charles emails Tammy at 9:16, then Chad at 9:32. At 9:16 hours, Charles sent an email to Tammy Daybell. The email was sent, and the email reads as follows. Tammy, my name is Charles Vallow. Oh, yeah, see? Here we go. No, you're not going to have audio. It's just me. You can't hear me now? Oh, I think you're back. You're back where we started, Melmac. Okay, sorry. It gets confusing because people come in the chat. Gray Hughes showed me how to fix that so that you guys were all in the same part of the thing, but it doesn't really matter. It just confuses me sometimes. But okay, let's read. My name is Charles Vallow. I have some vital and disturbing information regarding your husband and my wife, Lori. This is your work email, so I'll wait to send you the evidence. That is very disturbing. You may call or email me from the address where you can receive the information. I apologize to be the one sending this, but something has to be done. I feel it's best if I shed some light on the issues. Regards, Charles Vallow. And then at 9:32, he sent an email to Chad Daybell. In the second email, Charles asked Chad if Tammy knows about the dance videos that you requested from my wife. All emails went unanswered. So Tammy never answered? That's a bummer. Wonder if she saw it. At 9:32, Charles sent an email to Chad Daybell. The email read as follows. Chad, I'm Lori's husband. I gathered you already knew this. She sent an email yesterday, supposedly written by me, to KK Walker, inviting you to Arizona next week and to ghostwrite a book I'm supposedly working on. It's preposterous. I happened to run across it. It's preposterous. I happened to run across it as she left her computer at our Houston home. I am not paying anybody for anything, and I'm not writing a book. Either you or Lori need to tell me. And then this is all redacted. And then it says he added at 9:36, he added, and does your wife know you have several Lori's dance videos? Thank you, Kristen. It's Kristen or Kirsten. Why do I say that? Hey, hi, Kresha. How are you? Nice to see you here. Welcome, welcome. And Kristen, thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate it very much. Okay, here's some more. Explain how this is in any way appropriate. She sent them to you at your request in January. Between 13:14 and 13:27 hours, Charles sent a series of Word documents from his Gmail account to his iCloud account. They appeared to be documents written by Lori that were in regards to her religious beliefs. The documents were titled and read as follows. This looks like it's going to end, though. It's going to end. Why is it going to end? Why is it going to end? It says I'd act like if there was more. Okay, wait. You want to read this? Ruby Racel, it's good. I'm glad you all know. The most genuine guy ever. He always shares with me and my family, and everyone else always gives me a trigger warning, which is super helpful. Are you talking about this Breaking Crime with Big E? Because he has got some great info, and everybody should go subscribe to his channel. That's when things got real. Chad knew he had to have plans to move forward. I think the text where Dory told Chad to have fun with his family will end up probing he's a mastermind of everything. Thank you. Yeah, everybody subscribe. He seems like he's really on top of this stuff. He's got great content, really, for this case. Okay, let me see. Do you want me to read this? Let's see about Conversation, Chad Daybell. Did he change his name? Sarah Funeral Home, crematory assistant. Conversation 2, Chad Daybell, crematory director. Okay, case agent Duncan, transcribed by Donna Hatcher, police admin special. Beginning a recording. Recording an audible. Okay, so this is just a transcript, right? Beginning of conversation. Hello, my name is Sarah. I am assisting them with their calls. How can I help you today? Sorry, I'm bad at this, trying to get it to the place where it's, get more information. Okay, here we go. We just had a death. Okay, so Chad, we just had a death in the family. We really don't want anything but a cremation and then send the cremains to family in Louisiana. Just a simple, nothing other than the cremation and sending him to his family for a service in Louisiana. So is there any way to know a ballpark price on that? Yes, and I'm sorry for your loss. And Chad's like, yeah, I didn't lose anything. I gained a Barbie doll. Yes, and I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you. Let me transfer you over to the director who can assist you with pricing. What is your name, please? It's Chad Daybell. It's Chad Daybell. Okay, hold on. Waiting for this to change. Chad Daybell. If you don't know me, I make fun of Chad's voice. How do you spell the last name, please? Oh, he totally made up the last name. We just want to punch him in the... I don't blame you. I'd throat punch and punch down there. I'd do a lot of that for sure. I got in trouble for saying I wanted to throat on Facebook for making a comment and saying that I'd like to throat punch Chad Daybell. I got one of those Facebook warnings that I was going to go to Facebook jail. I'm like, well, he's a murderer, for crying out loud. All I'm saying is I want to throat punch him. Yeah, changing his name to Daybell. Let me think quick. Oh, D-A, I better not say my real name. B-A-L. Okay, how do you spell D-A-B-A-L, Daybell? How are you related to the person? I'm his nephew. Whatever. And then also, this is for the Valley of the Sun in Chandler, correct? Yes. He lives there in Chandler. I live in Iowa. Oh, now he's in Iowa. Okay. So I'm just trying to help out. Okay, thank you. Yes, and Chad, excuse me? What's your uncle's name for reference, please? He is John Daybell. Oh, okay. So he's just trying to, he's such an idiot. Same last name. D-A-B-A-L, the same, John. Does he have a middle name? Can you just hear this conversation in your head? I can. Myron. Where the heck? Myron? M-Y-R-O-N? Yeah. And Chad, what is your phone number in case we get disconnected? Is this number 515? I actually don't know my own number. Let me look real quick. Yeah, because he's probably on a burner phone, right? I wonder if this is why the Rexburg detective asked and really emphasized Daybell. Because he's the beloved member. Oh, yeah. Makes sense. Chad Daybell. Leah. I meant to say body cam of Rexburg detectives that was played in court. Oh, yeah. That's right. He's like, when he was talking to Lori. Yes. Yeah, you're right. And he did really emphasize Daybell? Yeah, he did. You're right. Jan Brady's mouse was named Myron. I wonder if Chad was watching. You guys crack me up. I miss stuff and I'm wise. Like, You were hoping I was doing a chatty imitation? Oh, yeah. Well, this phone call is perfect for it. And then she's like, I don't really know my own number. Let me look real quick. Yeah, okay, Chad, because you got a burner phone and you think that you're so sly. God, I hope that guy never sees the light of day. He passed away in a hospital. I don't know the details. Blah, inaudible. Also asked Alex if he had his bat. Alex said, want me to get it? Yes. You know, I find it really interesting that they're not finding any kind of prints or DNA on that bat. Don't you? Nothing of Charles. Everything's inconclusive. So you'd think he'd have called his uncle Ned Schneider. Ned Schneider. And that's so weird that he looked up somebody named Ned Schneider to find out that there's a guy that died named Ned Schneider. Okay, yes, just for to know, because sometimes that's different if it's residential or hospital or nursing home. I'm thinking they're sending him to the medical examiner. I'm not sure. I should have him more. I should have had more information before I called. I'm sorry. Oh, that's okay. Cremation was shipping to which city? It's trying to get poor Charles all taken care of for Lori. What an idiot. Sorry, get move forward. New Orleans, Louisiana. Okay, one moment, please, Chad, but stay on the line. Let me transfer you over to the director. Okay, who can assist you with that? All right, thank you. Hello, Chad. Yeah, thank you for holding. I do have the director, Carissa, on the line to further assist you. Okay, thanks. Thank you. End of conversation 1. Beginning of conversation 2. Carissa. I'm Carissa. I'm a funeral director with Valley of the Sun Mortuary and Cemetery. I understand that your uncle passed away. Chad. Yes. And I'm just starting the process for the family. He didn't have many relatives. I'm his nephew. I live in Iowa. But what? So sorry to hear that. Yeah, it's sad to see him go. And I think he's going to the medical examiner. I don't know all the details, but what the family basically wants is to have him cremated there in Chandler and then have his cremains shipped to New Orleans. God. I just do not like Chad. I think he's such a snake. Okay, and we'll deal with the service later. Giggles. He giggles. So just trying to get a ballpark price. Okay, so in cremation, we are able to do our cremations for $16.95. Now, why do I see? I pause it and then I mess it up. Now, what that's going to include is the transportation into our care, the transportation to and from our crematory, our basic professional fees, as well as our crematory fee. Can't talk. Now there's going to be a couple other charges there for you, Chad. Okay. So we're going to have death certificates. Sorry, wrong voice. So we're going to have death certificates, which are $20 a piece plus a processing fee. Chad. Okay. Carissa, $15 permit fee. All right. And then we're able to do that trip through the mail for you. And that's $150 fee for you. Oh, okay. You mean like UPS or something, I guess? Okay. What's he giggling for? Such a dork. All right. Oh, here we go. So close to about Chad. So close to about 2,000, probably, kind of a ballpark guess. Yeah, close to, yeah. Okay, well that helps me a lot. I need to call one or two others, but I'll get back to you if we come that direction. Thank you so much. Okay, you're welcome. Need anything else? Give me a call. Okay, thank you. All right, bye. Thank you. Bye. 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 Blah. Chad. Okay, I want to see what you guys got to say down there. Charles was kind in his explanation of Lori when she was on her demolition of the family via body cams. Charles was so, that one interview where Charles is outside the house asking if he could break into his own house and something, just kind of shows you what a nice person he is. You know, Charles, like, so many other people would have been freaking out, mad, you know. I mean, he actually asked, is it okay if I break in my house? Do you live here? And that cop, I'm not thrilled with that cop at all that dealt with him that day. Welcome, everyone. Please hit that on your way in. If you're not subscribed, hit that sub button. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'm sure, Francie, it was a nervous laugh, but he's such a, ugh. Okay, I'm going to go back and look and see if there's anything else. The other ones are super long, like Serena. You guys go over and give him the views over there for the one with Serena. He's got a really good channel. He's up to date on all these cases that we follow. The Michael Vaughn case, the Gabby Petito case. So go give him a search. His phone calls to the insurance company. You can hear the frustration in his voice, heart-wrenching. Oh, I know. He's like, I was so mad when I was listening to that because he's like, I have to have a password that I didn't even make in order to prove who I am because someone fraudulently did that. I mean, that was just so horrible. I said, there has to be another way they could have vetted him right then and there. There had to be. Makes no sense. Would this be considered evidence that Chad assisted them even more in poor Charles' murder, at least covering it up? Yeah, I would think, right? But they're saying that they haven't found anything to link him, but I'm surprised by that. We need to spread the facts. Yes, Kresha, and please tell me if I have anything wrong because I don't want to spread rumors. I really, really, really don't want to spread anything that's wrong. So I appreciate that if you let me know. The only thing that remotely is good in this whole situation is that Charles changed his policy. Unfortunately, he saw what he might go through in his future. So glad he changed it. Thank goodness they didn't get him before that was changed. I mean, because Lori be able to buy a better lawyer right now. Yeah, the insurance call. Didn't we play it? I thought we played it. You might not have been here. I think Lori's iCloud is so much guilt for Chad. That insurance call was sad. I wonder if the password setup was via phone. If so, maybe we'll hear it. Oh, the Lori call? There is a Lori call to the insurance company, but it wasn't very telling. Okay. So I don't know if there was any, let me see if I have anything else about anything new. Anything new? I haven't heard this one, but some of these are really long this interview with the friend of Jason Mao who introduced, it's 41 minutes. Oh, this one, did you hear the one about, oh, you are? Oh, cool. The one that your parents, the interview with the police? Thank you. That I would love to hear that. Oh yeah, Serena #2, where when she goes to the police station. You guys have to watch these. I don't want to like make you watch them on my channel for 45 minutes, but they're there so you can give them the views. They did say they were going to investigate, but how frustrating for him. I would have been losing my poo. Yeah, we want to see that. Lori Daybell would be able to buy a better lawyer, but she wouldn't do it. She has MM wrapped around her pinky. Yeah, he's her blue-eyed boy, according to that Lifetime movie, which is very strange. She does. Ruby, Krisha has a channel. It's called Difficult Research. Just click on her. And she posts a lot of stuff, obviously, because this is her family. No, this is an audio, Serena, not the video, Serena. The detective reveals a bombshell, in my opinion, of Alex's involvement in Brandon's attempt. The audio of Serena. Okay. Well, dang, did I even hear that? And then did you hear the ones where she did lace Charles with Xanax? She said she put it in his drink or his protein drink or something like that. Serena. Another friend confirms it was Xanax. Interview with a friend that Lori was happy to see Joe Ryan died. Yeah, heard that one. This one. Interview with ex-friend of Lori Vallow, and Lori told her years ago she paid Alex to kill Joe Ryan. Yeah, we saw that. Bobby Vallow. It has to be right here, right? I can't. He doesn't have Serena in the. Hold on, I know I can find it. I just have to see it in my. Is it the one when he goes to her house and her husband's there? Okay. Was it? It says mouse. Oh, it's the 45-minute one. Okay. Okay. So it's on here, you guys. It's the 40 interview with a friend, 4117. Okay. So and what do you think about Summer? And apparently she has a lover or something. Okay, thank you guys. So interview is under friend of Jason Mao. And that's the Serena one. And it's like 40 something minutes. I don't know. I'll play it if you guys want to stick around for that. But you can also watch it over there. Because I think Summer is in this way deeper than we currently think. And Janice will defend her offspring regardless of the guilt. Sounds like it, right? Yeah, she mentions Edgar. And we were kind of thinking, is Edgar... we were kind of thinking... as Edgar Summer's lover. Seriously. Bug. Okay, hold on. It moves right as soon as I click something. Wish we had the phone call to Chad from Lori after Charles was dead. Oh my God, wouldn't that be amazing? Play it? Okay, I'll play it. I mean, Krisha seems to think it's a real, I mean, I might have seen, I don't even know. My head is so crazy with work that I'm trying to like do both, and I maybe missed it because it doesn't look like I played it. It looks like I started to and then stopped. I'll play it. You guys can go get a cup of coffee and we will play it. Okay. All right. Let me open it up here. And then let me start it from the beginning. Interview with friend of Jason Mao, who introduces her to Melanie Gibb and then Lori Vallow Karma. Okay. Yeah, this one's probably really good. Towards the end. Okay. Okay, I'm going to share this and I'll be quiet. So wave at me if you want me to stop and talk about it. $10 says I didn't click on the audio. Let me double check. Yep. There's a little teeny box at the bottom that says you have to share the audio. You have to click something separate. And I miss it almost every time. Okay. Now we can do it. Let me mute me so you don't hear it.
The hours Detective Moffat it. Drive, Queen Creek, Arizona, in regards to case number 19-83744. I'm going to be speaking with Serena Sharp. How's it going? Are you Serena?
Yes.
I'm Detective Moffat with Chandler PD. You have a couple minutes to talk?
Sure.
Okay. I'm here to talk to you about Lori Vallow.
Oh, okay.
You want to sit down or come out here? What works better for you?
My house is a disaster because we're in the middle of like lots of projects.
I think everybody is, because that's what being locked in your house does.
Yeah, it does.
It's up to you.
Okay, hold on just a second.
Sure.
Let me see if. Mind if my husband joins us too?
That's fine by me.
Not back there, but I think most of my kids are in the back, so folks are front end. Do you want to come?
Whatever you prefer.
Yeah, come on in.
I love the giant sliding glass door. That's awesome.
Hey, Adam. How's it going? Do you want to come join us? Yeah, excuse the...
Oh, no problem. Dining room table work?
That works. And can you remind me your name?
Detective Nathan Moffat. I'm with Chandler Police Department.
Okay.
So...
I'm going to answer this question. So Serena is one of the women that was involved in their casting out their group, their 144,000 belief system. They eventually, I guess, kicked her out, but Serena was one of them that was doing this stuff with them. All right, here we go. Go back.
Oh.
That's your badge right there.
Yeah. I just left Christina and Nicole's house. So yeah, so I'm kind of following up. let me start with how you know Lori.
Okay. I met Lori through.
Just officially, if you need me, because I've never met anybody.
No. If you want to sit in, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, I just wanted to invite you in case you wanted to.
Oh no, I the
Nope.
whole thing freaks me out. So
No problem.
You're not the only one.
No.
if you need me, I'm happy to participate.
Thank you, Krusha, for stopping in. I appreciate it. And we'll go watch yours as well. Once you're done editing, I check your channel a lot. So thank you. And yes, they need to be humanized for sure. They're definitely. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
But I have to be different.
Okay.
Anybody.
Okay.
So how'd you meet Lori?
So I met Lori through some mutual friends.
Okay.
So Jason Mao is a friend of mine.
Okay.
He came out, and we were living in Connecticut at the time, by the way. So
Okay.
I met Jason because I needed him to be a keynote speaker for a big function that I was doing out there for like youth, ages 12
Okay.
18, for a regional event. So he came out. We got to be great friends. He just stayed with my family for that week
Okay.
because he had never been to New England. And he's like, you remind me of my friend named Melanie. Last name Gibb.
Gibb.
Yeah, Melanie Gibb. And he's like, you should connect with her because we were doing a lot of the same things just in separate places.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay. So I gave her a call, and we just became instant friends. And
How long? When was that about?
a year ago. Hold on just a second. Look at the calendar.
Okay, so how funny, because you met Lori sole and separate, but then Nicole has known Lori for like 10 years. So just kind of small world thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I met, let's see, this year's 2020, 2019, 2018. So this is 2018 that
Okay.
I met Jason, and then probably fall of 2018, September, is when I met Melanie over the phone.
Okay.
And then she said, you should come to Preparing the People because I've been into food storage and preparation and all that kind of stuff for years.
Okay.
And we just became friends over the phone. She's like, and I was going to stay with Jason, but she's like, no, come with me. Then we don't have to worry about drivers and, because Jason, I'm not going to be alone with another man because I'm married.
Okay.
So it was just easier. And
Gotcha.
She was sweet and picked me up. She's like, I'll pick you up. You don't need to rent a car. Just I'll pick you up from the airport. And so.
Was that here, the Preparing of People
Yeah.
conference here? Okay.
Yeah. So we ended up. So I stayed with Melanie that weekend, and
Okay.
she drove me to a friend's house to stay, and it was Lori's house. I had never met Lori before I walked through the door or heard of her.
So you stayed at Lori's house, not at Melanie's.
Correct.
Okay. Was Melanie living here at the time, or was she in Salt Lake, or was she in
Here.
Utah? So, okay.
Yeah.
But you just happened to so you stayed at Lori's. Did Melanie stay with you guys at Lori's?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a bunch of us that stayed there, though.
Gotcha.
Do you need to know the names, or you good?
Not necessarily, unless it
Okay.
ties into kind of the big picture of things. I'm just trying to get a
Okay,
history
Chad was
of
there
it.
that weekend.
Okay. Well, did he stay at Lori's also?
So that's the first time I met any or even heard of any of those people.
When would you say that was? Would you say that was 2018? Like fall
Yeah.
of 2018?
November.
Okay.
And I would say, I don't know if it's still on my agenda.
And is that when you met Chad?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so first or one of the weekends in November before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
If that's helpful.
Did Chad and Lori know each other before then?
I assumed they did.
Okay.
I met everybody for the first time ever except for Jason Mao.
Okay.
So I was pretty overwhelmed that weekend with
Gotcha.
everything.
Okay.
I'd never been to Arizona since I was a kid, and I had come to visit.
Okay.
I didn't first time even meeting Melanie face to face. So
Gotcha.
I was when you meet a whole bunch of people and you're
Yes,
the only
you're
one that's
overload.
new and everybody's knows each other, you're just kind of wide eyed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I guess so you meet everybody kind of for the first time in November of 18.
Yeah, but I'm there for the conference.
Okay.
So we go to
And that was for the Preparing of People conference?
Yep.
Okay.
And I help set, like we go early. Oh gosh. I mean, if you need me to know like specific dates, I think I flew in on Thursday. We went to the temple Thursday night. Friday, she had people over at her house for like a morning side type thing.
Okay.
And then Friday night, we went early to Preparing a People conference to help set up.
Okay.
Because Melanie's was really tight with the people running the program.
Okay. And that was your first time even becoming involved?
Ruby, remember they all had assignments like Zalema did earthquakes or something. They would like water, earth, fire. I don't know. They're all wackadoodle. Apparently they thought they had some power. They aren't mere mortals, apparently. I don't know. Just insanity completely. Okay, I'll go back.
Or seeing Preparing a People?
My first time, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess we're kind of what happens from there with the relationship and with your relationship with Lori and kind of all the players involved type thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'd come back at night and just sit up talking and like everybody, the big, huge group. And I mean, they seemed nice and normal to me at the time. No red flags at all.
Did there seem to be any, knowing then that Lori was married to somebody else and Chad was married to somebody else, did there seem to be like an inappropriate relationship already building with them, or?
Well, that didn't even cross my mind ever.
Okay.
Not once.
Okay.
In retrospect, maybe I can see some things but like a car ride alone, just because I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But that's, I mean.
But no interaction with everybody else.
No, it was like always combined, and I had no idea other than that, like, because they were both married, so like that thought just didn't even enter.
Okay. So.
Call me naive, and it probably was, but I just didn't see anything, so.
It's my understanding that it was right around that time that they met. So I think their relationship, or their friendship, or whatever you want to call it at that time, was still fairly new. So I don't think you.
Right. From my understanding, they had met at the previous.
Maybe it was just a couple months beforehand or something like that. Yeah, but it was somewhere right around the fall of 2018 is my understanding of when they met. So. When did you move down here?
Just recently.
Okay.
So I flew out here to look for houses in July.
Okay. Had Charles already, the whole thing with Charles already happened?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I moved down. We moved down here. Well, I came to house hunt at the end of July. And then we moved down as a family. My kids came with me a few days later. And then I'm trying to think timeline. And then I had to fly back up, finish packing up the house. So technically, we actually closed on this house like September, right after or right before.
Did you stay somewhere in the interim before you moved here? Or did you move directly from there to this house in September?
We stayed at an Airbnb and right by Queen Creek High School.
Okay.
The golf course. There's like there was a rental home there that we stayed in for a month.
On Las Colinas golf course? The golf course on Rittenhouse? Still new.
Bad with this. Ellsworth Loop.
Yeah. If you make the left at Ellsworth Loop,
there's a whole bunch of houses there. Like kind of by the high school.
Yeah.
Behind it. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what that golf course is called. Yep. So we stayed there for 1 month and then we moved in here.
So from the time that you met them to the time that that you moved down here, did you have many more face-to-face interactions with Chad, Lori, and
just a couple?
Okay.
So I went to the Preparing of People in February in Idaho.
Okay.
And I stayed with my sister and went to Preparing of People. So stayed with my sister. We stayed in a hotel with all the Preparing of People for a couple days. My sister did not go though.
Okay.
And then so I saw Chad there. Lori was not there.
Okay. Lori wasn't at that conference?
No, she was not. So then we had a girls' weekend in March where I flew out here, and that's where I met Christina and Nicole.
Okay.
And we worked at their warehouse because I love that kind of stuff, and I've done international stuff like that on the opposite end. So I clicked with those two really fast.
Okay. My pen is working barely.
So there's a bunch of girls for that weekend.
You met Christina and Nicole then?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's like a year ago, March, so just over a year ago.
Okay.
And then when I moved, and that's the second time like I had seen Lori face to face. We had some phone calls and stuff between.
Okay.
And some email interchanges and texting.
And with your interaction with Lori, I guess after this and kind of in the March and stuff, had you seen anything with the Chad, the relationship develop or progress, or?
I was out in Connecticut, so I didn't and I was not like in the inner circle, if that's what you want to say.
Did you do any of the podcasts with them?
Yes.
Okay.
So when I came out in March, I did 2 podcasts.
Okay.
Yeah. All in one morning. It was Monday morning right before I left. So I did 2 podcasts. Because again, I was friends with Jason and.
Yeah. Is that about the time that Jason was doing the podcast with them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. And Jason and I, again, were friends, and so they wanted me to come on and talk about how I met Jason and like how it went up there when he came and spoke to the youth.
Okay. So, obviously,
we did a second podcast right at the same time.
Okay.
So
are you LDS?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you ever hear or see any of the Lori and Chad and maybe some of the other groups kind of way out of left field compared to the LDS church?
Yeah, I mean, there was some stuff from the beginning, a few things that aren't like aligned with straight church doctrine that is taught over the pulpit. But I wasn't concerned about anything until like that March.
Okay.
There was a couple of things like maybe there that I was a little uncomfortable with, but then afterwards, just some things that they were saying. Are you LDS?
No.
By any chance? Okay. Like, for example, she was talking about not repenting.
Okay.
And that we don't need to repent anymore. And I'm like, it says, for the Bible that we need to repent and come to God. Like, and that was a big trigger for me. They also, about that time too, she kind of cut me off as well. She said that I was all sorts of stuff. I'm sure you've got all the evidence for that. But,
is that when she said you were an evil spirit or dark or whatever? Okay.
Which I did not know at the time. I got really, really sick, and they told me that Zulema was going to handle like me and just help me through it, and Lori just kind of just stopped communicating with me, but never told me why. Nobody, and Zulema didn't tell me this. I didn't.
When did you meet Zulema?
At the first Preparing the People in November.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And we became good friends. Like pretty fast. So I saw her again at the February one.
Okay.
And we talked often. I probably talked more to her than anybody.
Okay.
But yeah, after the March one, they just said that I was afterwards like prideful and I was going to turn evil. And I didn't know any of that though until just recently. Melanie Gibb is the one who told me that in January. So that was very hurtful to hear, but I had no idea.
I'm not LDS, but I believe in the power of prayer, and trust me when I say you don't need their prayers.
Yeah, but it was hurtful too.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't understand what was going on, and I just met people, and I'd only met her twice, like in person, and have somebody say, like, treat you, all of a sudden, there's a huge flip that's been, a huge switch that's been flipped, and you just don't understand why. And I thought it was because I was sick.
Okay.
And she said, like, evil spirits are like attacking you, and I did know that. She did tell me that she said, when she said that there's a breach and that I was being indoctrinated at night. That's what she told me. I thought, oh dear. So like I tried to just get better and fix anything that I thought might be wrong in my life, which we've always got stuff to work on. So
Absolutely.
but then after that, she wouldn't talk to me, and I guess that's when she said I was turning evil. My husband was evil, and which I didn't know she said that either until Melanie told me in January. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Just this past January.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Knowing now, I guess how much of the investigation have you seen on the news or anything else like that? Since this has progressed,
Yeah.
and you're kind of aware of all the different things that we're investigating.
A little bit.
Looking back on it, is there anything that you ever saw or heard that you go, oh, the police really should know that type thing, or that doesn't sit right, or, you know what I mean, it just doesn't feel right, or is there anything like that you saw? It kind of sounds like she cut you out kind of early.
Yeah, which
long
like
before all
huge
this happened.
protection for me. And yeah, so I only had those 2 contacts before I moved here. And then after I moved here, I saw her twice.
You saw Lori twice?
Mm-hmm.
When was that?
So I moved here in July.
Okay.
And it was either Zulema or Lori, and I can't remember which, said, hey, let's have a lunch. And so we met at like all the girls at Cafe Rio.
Costa Vida?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
So we met there for lunch, and it was weird.
Okay.
I could just tell things were weird.
Is that the girls' lunch that Alex was present on?
Yes.
Okay. Was that the first time that you met him?
No, I had met him when I met Lori the first time.
Okay.
So in November at that Preparing of People, he came over.
Okay.
Once or twice.
Did you have much interaction with him? Anything that stands out about that interaction? I mean, anything? No. Okay.
No.
Anything that you ever heard that we should know? It sounds like you're kind of on the periphery, especially
I was
living out of
definitely-
state. And
Thank heavens.
right.
I was really protected, I think, through this whole thing. No, it actually made moving here harder, but we just knew we were supposed to move here. So regardless of...
It sounds like you have really good friends in Christine and Nicole. So everything happens for a reason, right?
It does. And they're amazing. And my
Oh.
kids, we're supposed to be here. My kids are amazing, and they've had a good experience. So we're supposed to be here. It's great. It's been awesome.
So the reason that I came to be
This is
here to
Jared.
talk to you. Hi, Jared. I'm Nate.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I don't know if you've seen any of this in the media and stuff, but this was a thing with that Chad was sent Lori, and the names were blocked out because I didn't know how everybody knew each other and why. But one of these is Nicole, and the other one is Christina, and then you, and then obviously Melanie Gibb, Jason Mao. And so,
Mind if I see this?
no, absolutely. It's better from the beginning, so you can kind of get where they believe your history is and where everybody else's history is.
James and Elena.
So, you know, Chad is a writer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're basically writing a book of their story with Chad being James and Lori being Elena.
Ah. Okay. That's what James and Elena is, Chad
Yes.
and Lori. Okay. 7 children and 3 daughters. Wow. So Lori's guardian angels. I don't recognize everybody. I do recognize, everybody's heard of Kenneth Goat. Melanie is her niece. I met her once really quick at that lunch. Gosh, Lori Vallow. So is this Christina and Nicole?
Yeah, one of them's, I don't remember which one was which, but yes.
Yep. They did tell me that.
Tell you which part.
all of this.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know about or when that was, or?
She told me that. I think it was March.
Okay, in March when you were down, because that one was here, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's when you came here.
Could have been before that. I don't think so though.
But that was just for the girls' weekend type thing.
Yeah.
And not for a preparing the people conference.
Correct.
Okay.
Like we went to the temple, we went out to lunch, we went and worked at Gathering Humanity.
Okay.
We did service projects there, and I actually went 2 days to that.
Okay.
And just because that is my thing, so that's why I connected so well with Christina and Nicole.
Okay. So anything that you can think of, I mean, I don't know how much you talked to, but both Christina, especially Christina, but then Nicole, in hindsight, they heard things that they're like, wow, that really didn't sit right. But it sounds like you had limited contact with, or no contact with Lori after March. So
No, I did. Remember I said when I moved here, I saw her twice.
okay, yeah, the lunch.
Mm-hmm. Lunch, and then she had some girls over to her house one night.
Okay.
Just shortly after that, and I think that was in July because I was house hunting at that time.
Okay.
And it might have been the very first part of August, like right around there. It was pretty close together. Maybe
Okay.
within a week or two.
But nothing that stood out, nothing that you heard.
It's hard to separate kind of all the media on the
Okay.
box, but I'm trying to think. I was separated, obviously, by Miles, which was good, and then being ostracized as well. I think the only thing that concerned me was that March weekend when she was talking about her husband being, and this was one of the red flags I was talking about for that March.
Okay.
Her husband was now, because I had met him in November, Charles.
Okay.
And then just briefly, I was like leaving when he was coming in.
Okay.
Because I know
when
he
you were
wasn't
down
there.
here for the conference.
He wasn't there for most of the weekend
Okay.
until the end. So in March, she was saying that he had been possessed
Okay.
by an evil spirit. I think that's their go-to. And that it was no longer Charles, that it was somebody else inside of his body, and that
Okay.
they needed to get rid of, like somehow, like she needed to cast him. She needed help casting the evil spirit out, or something like that. So, but zombie. That's what, like, it was a zombie, is what
Okay.
they called it.
They never talked about killing the zombie, though, right?
No, that's casting it out, like getting rid
Okay.
of the zombie, but not actually like killing his body.
Yes.
But like,
removing the
no.
spirit.
Yes,
not,
that, and
okay.
then, yeah, and then somehow like removing the spirit, like Charles was already gone, so I didn't know if that meant Charles would come back or the body would die or whatever.
Okay.
But yes, removing the spirit of Ned, I think it was Ned,
Okay.
which I thought I was a little uncomfortable with that whole thing. Like, obviously, that's a little out there, so a lot.
Anything else you can think of?
She talked to me in August, so that beginning of August, end of July, when I went to her house. She told me that night, because that's the first time I'd seen her since Charles had died, and I just asked her, like, are you okay? Like, what happened? Because I don't really like watching the news. I don't like media, because I don't, like...
They screwed up most of the time, but
Yeah.
what did she say happened?
Like, in her words?
That you remember.
Okay, so she told me that Charles came to get JJ
Okay.
from, I think it was school. And when he was picking up JJ, Tylee was there.
Okay.
And then she had Tylee take JJ out to the car. And then he picked up a bat, Charles did. But her brother Alec, is it Alec or
Alex.
Alex was there. And Alex just shot and killed him.
Okay.
And I think she said shot him twice. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shot and killed him, and it was horrible. And he came at him with the bat and hit. I think he said he hit. Charles hit Alex with the bat, and then Alex had to shoot him.
Gotcha.
So. That's the story I got. But it sounds very much like that's the story she gave to police as well. So
Very similar, yeah.
she wasn't going to tell me anything. I mean, we weren't close at all, and she thought I was going to turn evil.
Right. Okay. Excuse me. I ran out of business cards.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you my desk phone number and then my email address.
Okay.
They have us working from home 3 out of 4 days a week. So email's best because like this is my office day and I don't think I'm back in the office until next Friday.
Okay.
So
Oh my
email,
gosh.
yeah, because
Right.
we work 4 10-hour days and we're just kind of drawing office days. And then I also did give, I gave both Christina and Nicole my phone number
Okay.
in case you lose it. I gave Nicole my email address. I forgot to give Christina it.
Okay.
Um,
I can give it to her.
I'm getting promoted and going back to the road in a couple weeks, so I figure it's not
Good
worth
for you.
ordering business cards.
Good for you.
So
Yeah. So what Melanie told me in February, or January, she gave me kind of the rundown of everything that happened. She said that I started asking too many questions last spring.
I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that Lori became cynical.
Mm-hmm.
I think what worked well for them is they were looking for other people that bought into
Right.
their outlandish beliefs. And I think if you didn't buy in, you weren't a believer. And
Yeah.
I had this conversation with both Christina and Nicole.
Yeah.
Is all religion is based a lot on faith.
Right.
And if this is their religious views, how do you dispute or debunk it when it's their religious views?
Right.
And I think that's a lot of what this is. And they were hunting for people like Zulima, very like-minded people that would follow this.
Right. Well,
Church
and
of
they
the Firstborn.
start very much with things that are mainstream.
Yeah.
And then when you kind of like, yes, I believe that. Yes, I believe that. And then they kind of add to that. So it makes, and some of it makes sense when you like look at the scriptures. It's something you've never heard of before, but like maybe.
Yeah.
But then when I got sick and started asking questions, like, and when they started talking about like repentance thing, like some things just didn't sit well. And Melanie said that when I started asking questions is when they decided that I was going to turn dark, and my husband already was. And all
I
that
think
stuff.
anybody who disagrees with their view is dark, and the more you disagree, the darker you are, and the more you're in their way,
Right.
the darker you are. So,
Right.
So, can I answer any questions for you?
Yeah, like what is going on with the investigation? Is she in custody
She's still in custody.
in Idaho?
Idaho.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was there a hearing with that?
She has a preliminary hearing set for May 5th.
May 5th.
Yeah. I think it got delayed because of the COVID-19, and they're not gathering courts and stuff like that. I mean, it's really kind of unprecedented where we're at in the country.
Right, for sure.
I did read a thing because Idaho's had very, very few cases that they might open the state up a little bit sooner than everybody else.
Okay.
So, but last I heard it's May 5th, and there's a lot of data to go on. I mean, we have the Chandler PD case, we have the Gilbert PD case, we have the Rexburg PD case, the missing kids.
Right.
You have Fremont County Sheriff's Department case for Chad's wife. So and then the FBI has been involved in different
Sickening.
facets. So it's a very big investigation, and a lot of the investigations are ongoing. So.
And do you guys kind of work together to figure this out?
We've been working together. I mean, we've been working nonstop, and FBI and Gilbert's going out tomorrow to do more interviews, and I did the 3 today, and this
So
is
do you mind me asking, like, because you're saying Gilbert and Chandler?
Yes.
There's why?
Melanie Boudreau's husband was shot at in October.
Wow, that's
So,
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm. He was pulling up to his driveway, and for all practical purposes, in my opinion, Alex was waiting there in Tylee's Jeep and fired a shot at him. So, and I think we have enough. We would, if Alex hadn't passed away, we would have had enough to charge him for that already,
Really?
and a couple other different things. So, you got a lot of different moving pieces on this. But so you have 6 different jurisdictions with, when you put everything together with the feds and stuff, that are all investigating different pieces of this, but they're all interwoven. I mean, it's all
Oh yeah, for
very
sure.
much one rolling event of disaster following Chad and Lori. And so
It's so upsetting and shocking that somebody who seems, because they seemed normal when I met them, just kind, like hearted, nice people who opened up their homes so that a whole bunch of people could, crash there from out of state. And
yeah,
I mean,
well, my belief is
so
that
I actually met JJ and Tylee that weekend. So.
yeah, my belief is they're kind of rolling after a self-fulfilling prophecy of whatever it is that they think benefits them right now. And it's just, it's just kind of gross. I mean, really, with the totality of the investigation and the things that we've uncovered and stuff, it's bizarre at best.
Really?
It's just, it's one of those things. It's tragic. And at the end of the day, there's still 2 kids missing.
And the deaths that are like piling up are horrific.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because she has, 2 husbands?
Yeah, and I don't know.
And then he's got his wife,
Mm-hmm.
who's seemingly out of the blue.
Yep.
Weeks after she moved there is what Melanie and the news is saying. I didn't even know she had moved.
Yeah, she moved there end of August,
Yeah.
beginning of September. So.
And then Alex passed away. Did I assume they have a coroner's? Because I know.
Yeah, that's still pending an autopsy.
Okay.
There's
I'm sure there's findings, but probably not released
It
yet.
does appear that there might be an underlying. I'm saying karma got him. It does appear that there might be some underlying medical conditions. It's still pending a lot of toxicology and stuff, but there's a very good chance that Alex's could be a natural death.
Okay.
So I'm not as convinced for everybody else. So
And those kids.
yeah.
Because she seemed like when I met her in November with her kids there, like she really loved the kids. I didn't even question that,
Yeah, but hypothetically, if evil spirits get in the way, and
and they're not her kids anymore, just like he wasn't her husband anymore.
Yep.
And they're stopping her from doing whatever she thinks she needs to do. Yeah.
Yep.
So what about? Do you mind me asking about Zulema? Like, where is she in all this? What happened to her?
She's still at her house in Gilbert, as far as I know.
Is she? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's some things that we wanted to follow up with her on, and she's retained an attorney. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we actually have a call into her attorney right now to try to do a follow up interview on her.
Wow.
But yeah.
Oh my gosh.
She was very much subscribed a lot to Lori and Chad's extreme views.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I do know that. Because, like I said, we were close for a few months there.
Yeah.
Until I was ostracized. But
It's a good group to get kicked out of.
yes.
So, if you're gonna get kicked out of something, that's a good group to get kicked out of. I'm just saying.
I know.
Um,
For sure. Do you have any questions for me? Like anything
not that I
else
can think of. I mean, I know that like Christina had heard she was at Zulema's house during a prayer thing, and Lori got way overboard, and there were statements made. And I'm more concerned about what you know firsthand.
I wasn't there.
So it's at least I have some good background information and stuff.
Yeah.
And, like I said, we're just kind of following up, and clearly, JJ and Tylee aren't with you, correct? No, haven't heard or seen from them in quite a while.
I wish.
That's part of the thing, is just making sure that that we run down any and all acquaintances.
Right.
I would assume that every normal person, when they see the national news about 2 kids missing, if the kids were there, they would, especially when Lori's in jail, they would go, "Hey, I have the kids. They're here, safe and sound," and that hasn't happened. So
I keep hoping that that is becoming more dim, huh?
Yeah.
As time goes on. Do you guys have any hope that the kids are alive?
Personally, I don't. I mean, I just don't at this point. When Lori's been on the run since the day of a welfare check, that she didn't know was coming, and basically left town that day and hasn't looked back. Was sitting in Hawaii, makes statements to her attorney that the kids are fine, and now you're sitting in jail. If you left your kids with a reasonable, responsible adult, and you're sitting in jail for abandonment, and they truly are just with a responsible adult, once you go, all right, the jig's up, they're right here.
Yeah.
So, and they haven't. So I just, with that and a lot of other things that I just can't discuss, obviously because of all the pending investigations, I have very, very little hope. Slim to none and slim left town. So,
yikes.
and that's me personally, but so this is my contact information.
Okay.
If you happen to think, tonight, next week, whenever, like, oh man, I just forgot that I heard this or that or whatever, just follow up, just call me and leave me a voicemail or shoot me an email.
Okay. And you're looking for firsthand stuff because, like, Melanie told me a lot in January, but you're not looking.
We've interviewed Melanie. Yeah, myself and the Gilbert detective interviewed Melanie for a couple hours at the police department, and then they have since re-interviewed her a couple times. So if that's
she called me after that, and she said, "I think I need to tell you what's going on, and I need to tell you what happened to you." And so she actually apologized, which was really sweet. But she's like, "I just felt like I needed to go to the police." I'm like, "Yeah, you did."
Yeah, absolutely.
Holy crap.
Absolutely.
So,
what is a good contact number for you? All right. Yeah, so like I said, if something comes up that you think of, just shoot me an email or give me a call.
Yeah.
I appreciate your time. I'm going to grab this because
no problem.
Everything I seem to leave out gets to the media one way or another. So the only blessing of this COVID thing is it's got this case out of the media for a little while because it's out of sight, out of mind. Because this is a difficult case at a lot of turns, and at the end of the day, there's a lot of victims attached to it. What we want to do is accountability and accountability and justice for the victims in the case. So
and give you guys the space to figure it all out too.
Yeah, absolutely,
nice
absolutely.
That you have that time.
I had an email leaked to the media last week that was all over national, or 2 weeks ago,
on this
all
case?
over national news. Yeah, and it was in a response to Charles had 2 adult sons. Their mom's been a point of contact, and I'm like, hey, look, we're still working on it. I hope to get Lori indicted, and she ran to the media with it. So you never know who's going to run to the media next for whatever reason. So it just makes the job more difficult.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thank you for what you're doing.
But I appreciate it.
I appreciate you trying to get to
Yeah, and that's
the kids. And
the bottom line in all of this is our job is to find the truth.
Right.
If she's done nothing wrong, or if he's done nothing wrong, at the end of the day, it's absolutely. So, all right, you guys.
This is a big one.
Yeah, that's what I was telling Nicole and Christina. I've been an officer for over 20 years. I've been in homicide for 11 and a half. This is like no case I ever see or we ever see again. It's just. It's beyond reality what the heck's going on here. So. Oh yeah, no, it's total made-for-TV movie. Yeah. So, thank you guys.
Or the big screen maybe.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, best of luck.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and if something comes up, like I said, if you remember, just give me a call.
Yeah, and vice versa. If you think of anything, just.
Absolutely, and there might be because, like I said, I'm going to type up my interview, and then it'll go to the FBI. There's kind of one agent they're not, the FBI isn't taking the investigation, but they're helping orchestrate. You have, several different agencies, so it's kind of a clearinghouse.
Interesting. Really interesting. I bet she hasn't either. So, let's see, I missed anything here. Yeah, it was from before the kids are found, for sure. Makes it hard because they didn't know if they were for sure dead yet at that point. In narcissism, the family are considered the flying monkeys, those who support the role of their commanding force. Right. That's what narcissists do. They have everyone else do their dirty work. Rile up everybody. Yep. I did a video on the dates with the satanic calendar. It was pretty interesting. Happy birthday there. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear DC Babs. All right. So I don't know. Let's see if anything else popped into the world while we were doing this. I know that one kind of took a lot of time, but there's all these people that eventually probably are were getting talked to based on the information that they were getting out of the phones or the iCloud accounts or this or that, right? Pretty bizarre. Apparently, John Wells and Candace are going to be on Dr. Phil. They're not allowed to talk about it yet. What happened? There's some interesting information on Joshua Bohannon that I want to go into and look at. Apparently, there's somebody kind of on the tail of people that know stuff and helping a lot. And then what else? I think that's about it. I think we covered Gabby, but I don't think Brian Laundrie is going to be found anytime soon if he's alive. I think he got on a boat and sailed to Bermuda or Bahamas or Cuba or somewhere. I really don't see him being there, but they are sure. That's what oh my gosh, you just read my mind. I just wonder about him. I can't imagine that he's just hanging around Florida. I picture they set him up somewhere on an island somehow, camping. You could probably go on in the Bahamas. I'm sure there's parks there that you could live off the land, right? And camp and stuff. Sensible crime, you think he killed himself? I don't know. I go back and forth on that. But they sure are really, really invested in the Carlton Reserve. So what are they looking for there? What do they have that we don't know about? They have to have something we don't know about, right? Some ping or some camera footage, seeing him somewhere in there, like the trail cam. I don't know. I think we'll find out about Brian Laundrie a few years down the line when he's found in some remote area living under an assumed name. Yeah, I think somebody's going to spot him somewhere at some point, but, and all these spottings of him drive me nuts right now because everybody spots him and then they're like, oh, there goes. And then they tell people, what about, I see him right now. He's right there across the street. I'm watching him, I read that Laundries have a juice business in the Bahamas. Is that true? I don't know. That's the first I've heard of it. It's unfortunate. Way too many people sin and kill us in the name of religion or God to do it. It's not even just this case. That is true. Many people use, God as an excuse to murder. I think this case is so high probably he's in some little city in Africa, someone would see him. But he looks like so many other people. It's a problem. All right, so I am going to wind this up here. We have been going for 2 hours and I'm hungry. So I'm going to work on some stuff this weekend with the podcast. If you haven't heard the podcast, it goes all the way from every marriage that Lori had, the legal documents, what went on, what she said, and I'm intertwining all this new stuff as well with it, what Lori said about wanting to kill Joe Ryan, what her friend said about that. And I'm just now in episode 4 going to get to the whole Charles and Lori going to the police and Lori meeting Chad and everything. So that'll be in episode 5. And thank you, Leighton. Thank you, Leighton. I appreciate that. It's done differently than my videos, but I'm trying to bring in all the information to tie everything together from the beginning. So thank you guys for being here. I do appreciate you all. If you don't mind hitting the thumbs up, I would appreciate that. Yeah, he does. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, everybody, have a good weekend. And members, we will do a happy hour on Friday. I was going to do it last night, but I was on the phone all day with work, and then my cold that's still going away because the cough started up again last night, but it's good right now because I wasn't on the phone all day this morning. So we'll do Friday. I'm sure I'll be fine by then. And oh, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll be back. I'll see you next Saturday if nothing crazy happens between now and then. And keep looking at I do this. I'm like, I look at the chat and then I keep going as I'm saying goodbye, but I don't want to miss anything. And I do appreciate you all. Thank you so much for being here and supporting my channel. And if you're new and not subscribed, think about subscribing. We do these lives, and I do really focus on the Daybell case as well as other cases as I have time, because I do work full time as a registered nurse case manager. But I do appreciate you. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you soon. See you soon. And look for episode 5 coming out pretty soon on the Afterglow Unveiling the Idaho Cult podcast. Bye, guys. Bye-bye.